Everybody's muted and everybody can see and hear me still? All right. That's what we want to hear. All right. So we're going to get started today. Last week, if you remember, we were focusing on, we started working on the chakras, which are those energy centers that run along the spine. Started with the root chakra, which is at the tailbone and the pelvic floor. This week, we're on the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is located between the navel and the pelvic floor, about 2 inches below your belly button and about 2 inches in, right in front of the spine. It's your lower abdomen, your low back, and your hips. So guess what we're going to be doing a lot of today? We'll be trying to get into some core and a lot of hip stuff. I'm not going to focus totally on core. We'll save a lot of it for another day. So that's what we're going to focus on. It also, if it's out of balance, if these energy centers get out of balance in your body, it can cause illness, physical ailments. With this one, it's typically depression, maybe lack of motivation, lack of creativity. So if it's in balance, you're, more willing to accept things, you're more open to things, you're more motivated, happier.
Detail about what he saw.
So anyway, we'll stick with that. A couple of other reminders as we go. Breathe in and out through the nose, breathing diaphragmatically to the belly, okay? So we should feel that rise and fall. You never want to feel any pain, anything sharp or doesn't feel right, come out of it. If we're holding a pose longer than you feel comfortable, know that you can come out and take a comfortable pose. And remember, you don't have to do every variation of every pose, all right? You want to fit yourself into the pose where you feel comfortable. So let your body teach you, listen to your body. It's really important. If you don't, you're going to end up in pain, or it's not going to feel so great. So just find that edge just before that comfortable discomfort, we call it. All right. So we're going to get started. With all that being said, we're going to start in Shavasana. Please be sure to have your props, whatever it is you use, your blocks, your straps, a chair, a blanket, and then we'll get started. Okay. And if you don't have the blocks, remember books, socks, towels, all work great. So let's join together here in Shavasana on our backs. Legs a moderate distance apart, feet fall open. Arms are out at your sides, about a foot or so away from your body. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. That's going to help with the rotation of the wrists so that your palms are turned upward. Just a little tip of the chin toward the chest to create some length in the back of your neck. And just close your eyes and let your body begin to rest. We're taking just a few moments here to center our bodies, to bring ourselves into this moment. Sometimes when we just hop in and get going, you're still thinking of all those things that you have in your mind, things that need to be done, things that you've already done. But we don't want that in yoga. What we want is to bring all of our thoughts to our mat. And it's not easy to do. That takes practice. So let's just give ourselves that moment to do that. Tuning in, once you're settled in and comfortable, to those 3 anchors of mindfulness. First, your breath, feeling the movement of your breath at your nostrils, the movement of your breath at your abdomen. So you should feel it traveling in and out. Just that light touch of air just above your upper lip. And then you'll feel that rise and fall of your belly with each exhale, each inhale, right? Just paying attention to filling and emptying the body, not controlling it, just simply watching. After resting in your breath, you bring your awareness to that second anchor of mindfulness, our body. How are you feeling in your physical body? The muscles, the joints, the bones, your internal systems, what's going on in there? How do you feel? How do you feel energetically? That's all part of your physical body. Are you fatigued or ready to go? Just notice. We're always noticing these things without judgment. Just noticing and letting go. And then finally, that third anchor of mindfulness, which is our mind, right? Our emotions. Do you feel stressed and wired, or are you pretty relaxed and at peace today? Just notice these things. And after you've noticed what's going on with you, let your breath take care of any areas that need it. Let your full breath bring energy. Let the rhythm of your breath bring calmness. And let your full breath create space in any of those areas that feel physically tight or strained. Breathing in deeply, feel that space expand. Exhaling completely, release any tension. So just take some time to take care of yourself before your practice. Then after doing that, let's move into our controlled yoga breathing. Every inhale is a little deeper. Every exhale more complete. Higher rise of your belly with every inhale, deeper fall with every exhale. Let that deep breath become even. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Just working at your own count, whatever it is. So when you count that full exhale, if it's 4 or 5, match your inhale to 4 or 5. Maybe you like the 3. You just find your breath. And then finally, let your breath become smooth. Each breath flowing into the next. Just take a moment to just notice that transition when the inhale becomes the exhale. The exhale becomes the inhale. How does that feel to you? Is it a very slight pause? Does it go right into the next? What is that transition? Just notice. Now this is your breath. This is what you're going to stick with for your whole practice, right? The leader of our practice is the breath. So now staying with that breath as best you can. Let's start to wake our bodies up. Bring some movement. Fingers, toes, ankles, wrists, maybe side to side with the head. Next inhale breath. Open up to your full body symmetrical stretch. Press out through your heels. Reach with your fingers. As you hold this pose, try to press your low back into the floor. Remember that little marshmallow? Smush it in. That engages your abdominals. We'll hold it here as we stretch. 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Exhale. Hug your knees into your chest. We'll take a moment just to rock side to side. Give your low back a little massage. Now from here, we're going to move right into some leg stretches. So let's plant the left foot to the floor. Send your right leg high. This might be where you like to use a prop, your strap, your sock, your towel. You can wrap that around the foot and press that foot up toward the ceiling. If you opt not to use the strap, you're just holding on behind your leg. We're going to keep that left leg bent and the foot flat to the floor for a moment and just work this right leg. So however you're holding your leg, see if you can Draw that leg a little closer toward you. Maybe you want to start bringing some movement to your foot, circling the ankle, pointing, flexing. See how that affects the stretch in the back of your leg and changes it up a little bit. Just move around, wiggle around here, figure out where you need to be. Then maybe pull that leg a little closer toward the chest if you can. Then very slowly lengthen your left leg toward the end of the mat. Feel that stretch in the front of your hip, that hip flexor in your left leg, all right? We really want to get into these muscles, so find your edge. Breathe here. Feel the breath at your low belly. Remember, that's what we're focusing on today, is that low belly. Now from here, we're going to guide this right leg open toward the floor on the right. So you can, if you're using the strap, just guide it with the strap. If you're using your hand, just guide it with your hand. Take your left arm out to the side at shoulder height. Try to keep that left shoulder blade released to the floor so that you're not rolling off of the left side of the body. You want to keep it flat, right? We want to get right into the inner thigh here. Maybe you can press out through your heel, get a deeper stretch in that inner thigh if that works for you. Go there. Nice. Keep on breathing. All right, now from here, we're going to take that leg all the way over toward the floor on the left. So you're doing a supine twist, right? So you can guide it with the strap or with your hand. You're trying to bring those toes close toward the floor, as close as you can. They might touch, they might not. Doesn't matter. Now let's keep that right shoulder blade to the floor. So that right arm is out to the side for stability. And just move into this stretch here, this twist. Breathing in, breathing to that low belly. Breathe into that space between the navel and the tailbone. Nice, return back to center. Let's lower that right leg to the floor, or foot to the floor, knee is bent, send your left leg high. So now we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So mirror your other side if you can. If you used your strap or your hands, draw that leg toward you, knee is soft. Even here, notice your low back, press it into the floor, stay engaged there, right? We want that control. Maybe you want to circle, point, flex your foot, get some movement going on there. See how that feels in the muscles in the back of your leg here. Then once you're settled in, just hold it there. Draw it maybe a little bit closer toward you. And then see if you can start to lengthen your right leg on the mat. Nice and long toward the end of the mat. The foot's going to rest on the floor. We're not holding it in the air. The heel is on the floor. And just feel that stretch now in your right hip flexor. Beautiful. Keep on breathing. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Breath focus. Nice. Now we're going to guide that leg open toward the floor on the left. So using your strap or your hand, that right arm is your stabilizer here. So keep that shoulder blade to the floor, the right shoulder blade. Feel that stretch deep in your inner thigh here, right? Just getting into all those hip muscles, the hamstrings, the glutes, right? Sort of opening up right around our hip joint. All right, now let's cross over, all the way over. Now the left arm's coming out to the side for stability, left shoulder blade toward the floor, and use the strap or your hand to guide that left leg, bringing the toe toward the floor on the right. Bring your awareness back to the low belly, the breath at the low belly. And we'll return back to center. Lower that leg, open up to your full body symmetrical stretch. Then exhale, hug your knees back into your chest, rock side to side. So we're giving ourselves that little release. All right, now we're gonna plant both feet to the floor. I'm just gonna turn to the side so you can see the movement here is gonna be very, very tiny. So what we're gonna do is focus on pelvic tilting and then work into a bridge. So what I want you to do first is to start with your heels nice and close to the buttocks. Our arms are gonna rest alongside the body. So the first thing I want you to think of, we're hardly gonna move the hips at all, is imagine you're drawing in and up through your pelvic floor and you're just tipping your pelvis a little bit. So you're trying to just tip the tailbone, pulling it away from the floor. And then inhale, the tailbone's pressing in a little bit to the floor. So exhale, in and up through the pelvic floor, tipping the tailbone. Inhale, pressing that tailbone into the floor. So just see if you can get that tiny, tiny movement. It's barely even visible, but you should really feel those muscles working, right? Drawing in and up, tip on the exhale. Inhale, let it go. We'll just do a couple more of those at your own pace with your own breath. All right, last one. After you complete that, give yourself a little recovery, whatever you need here. If you want to shift your knees side to side, if you feel like you want to pull your knees in, hug them in, and give yourself a recovery moment. All right, now we're going to return back to center. We're going to do that same movement again, only this time we're going to lift the hips after we do that about halfway up. So not all the way up to your max, but about halfway. So heels close to hips, arms at your sides, draw in your pelvic floor, tip the pelvis. Then inhale, lift the hips, about halfway. Now we're going to stay here and we're going to work that engage and release. So now let's release the pelvis, then exhale, squeeze and tip. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and tip. Again, very small movement, but now it's a little bit more challenging. If you find that this is too straining on your back, just keep those hips and butt to the floor. But see what you can do here. Move with your breath. Little tip, little release. All about control. All right, now get that tip. Keep those hips lifted. Let's hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now very slow and controlled. Use your core. Roll down the spine. Take your recovery pose, whatever you need here, those knee shifts or hugging in. All right, now one more step. Heels close to the buttocks, arms at your sides. Draw in through your pelvic floor, tip your pelvis. This time we're going to inhale, lift the hips all the way up. As high as you can go, engaged in your core. On the inhale, release at the pelvic floor. Exhale, tip. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, squeeze and tip. Again, very small movement. It's all about control of those little small muscles, right? At the base there. Very small movement, lots of strengthening going on. All right, next time you tip, we're gonna hold. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Roll down the spine. Again, take your recovery, whatever you need here. So that pelvic tilting, that control at the pelvic floor and that low belly is what you want to feel in every pose that you do, even standing postures. It's controlling right from the root upward. All right. Let's give our legs a little stretch. Open up, symmetrical. All right, lower your arms, bend your knees. We're gonna send the right leg high again. This time we're gonna cross the ankle over the knee. We're gonna take a supine pigeon here. So rotate that knee outward by rotating that hip joint, right? We're rotating at the hip. This might be enough. If you already feel it in your glute and deep in your hip, stay here. If you can take it deeper, you can pull the legs in. Now there's lots of different variations here. So if you can't find yours, let me just show you as you hold. You can place a block underneath that left foot. Maybe you can pull the legs in. Maybe you can't quite reach around the legs and you want to use your strap, whatever you're using for the strap to pull those legs in. So just find a variation for you. This is a deep, deep hip stretch. You should feel it in a little muscle called the piriformis, deep within the hip. How's your breathing? How does your breath feel at that sacral center? All right, let's let it go. Unwind. We'll send the left leg high. Cross it over. Rotate that hip outward. So get into that hip. Decide what works for you on this side. And this side might be different. You might find that, especially when we do these kinds of poses, that your body's not always symmetrical. So maybe you need to change the variation that you're doing. The block, the strap, the hands behind the leg, or maybe you just want to keep that foot flat to the floor if you're already getting deep in there enough. And release. Nice. Let's open back up to our symmetrical stretch. Long arms, press out. Smush that marshmallow beneath your low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give yourself a hug. And then roll to whatever side feels comfortable. And take a fetal pose here. Just rest on one side of your body. Tune back in to those 3 anchors of mindfulness: breath, body, and mind. Then from here, we're going to press up and we're going to come into tabletop pose, right? So we know tabletop, wrists are beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Fingers are spread. So really, don't be afraid to spread. It's great for your hands. Give them that stretch, right? Especially if you have arthritis, we got to stretch our hands out. Give them some attention. Press into your fingertips, knuckles at the base of your fingers, the heels and palms of your hands. Press into your lower legs, right? So now we're nice and long. We're engaged. Tailbone's back, crown is forward. Let's begin to move in and out of cat-cow. So let's take a big inhale, come into cat. Let the sit bones open, belly lower, shoulders draw away from the ears. Now exhale, push all the air out, feel your shoulder blades pull apart. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So here, just move with your breath and try to articulate your spine as much as you can in each movement, right? We're trying to get as much flexion and extension in the spine as you can. In each case, we're actively engaging the shoulders, right? So we're pushing into the arms, and then we're drawing the shoulders back and forward, right? That retraction and protraction of your shoulders. Nice. Stay with your breathing. All right, the next time you're in that cow or cat pose, send your sit bones back toward your heels. Open your knees wide. Let's take a child's pose. So we're going to lengthen out through the arms, soften the head toward the floor, toward your block. Tune back into the movement of your breath. All right, let's rise back up to our tabletop. So typically we go into what we call that bird dog pose, right? Sending a leg back. Today, what we're going to try to do is keep the leg bent. So we're going to start on the exhale breath, bringing the right knee toward the nose. And then on the inhale, we're going to keep that leg bent and try to press the toes up toward the ceiling. Exhale. Nose, inhale, press up. All right, so see if you can get that movement going, keeping that knee in the same position, right? It's a little bit different than straightening back. You're going to feel your hamstring really working here, building strength, stretching the quad. Nice. Every exhale, engage through your core, right? Push that floor away. Feel your shoulder blades pull apart. Inhale, that leg lifts. All right, now this time when that leg lifts, we're going to hold it here. See if you can really press that thigh up toward the ceiling, the toes. How's your core? Is it zipped? Now let's see if you can lift the left arm. Find the balance. A little bit more of a challenge here. You can always keep both hands planted if you need to. Let's hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you're ready to let that go. Take a recovery pose, a child's pose of choice, or always know too if you need to shift forward to crocodile. If you want to come onto your stomach, go there. If it's getting to the knees, come onto your belly. Let's take a few breaths here in recovery. All right, back up to tabletop. So here we go. Left leg this time. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, press it up. Keep that leg bent. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift like you're pressing that thigh toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press up. Last one. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press up. Now let's lift the gaze. Maybe lift the right arm. Hips to ribs, ribs to hips, and really push through that left hand. Find your stability. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let it go. Recovery time. Child's pose or crocodile on the belly. All right, we're going to return back to tabletop. Keeping our hips stacked over the knees, we're going to work an extended puppy. Now remember, we've done this one before. It's a big, deep stretch for the chest. So you can use a block. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of variations here. Starting either knees together, legs to touch, or hips width. You're keeping your hips over those knees, sliding your hands out. Once you've come out as far as you can without shifting those hips forward or back, then you're going to come up onto your fingertips and sink down. Now you might like to bring the forehead to the block. Maybe you can bring it to the floor, but make a little tent with those fingers, all right? So we're pressing into the fingertips, palms are lifted. Hips are stacked over the knees. Deep opener for your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Recovery pose. So you might like to just shift forward from here. I usually like to go forward onto my stomach. Take your arms alongside your legs and soften your head. One cheek to the floor. Doesn't matter which. All right, now it's time to work our downward dog. So if downward dog is in your practice, we'll go there. If downward dog is not in your practice, you're back in your tabletop, sending one leg back. See how I'm on the ball of my foot? And I'm pushing into my hands to press that heel back. So I really want to feel a deep stretch, especially in my calf, right? Then you'll switch sides, ball of the foot, press back. All right, so if you don't want to do the downward dog, stay there, start working that, stretching those legs. If you do want to do downward dog, we're going to take a little step back with the knees, roll the toes under. On the exhale, we're going to press the sit bones up, but keep the knees bent. Come up on your tiptoes. First of all, check in on your hands. Are they shoulders width apart? Fingers spread, pointing forward. Then push into the fingertips, the knuckles, the palms. Activate your shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down and in toward the spine. Then start to pedal your feet. One heel and then the other. So let's all work that straightening of one leg and the other, no matter what pose you're in, tabletop or down dog. Nice. Now we're going to release both heels if you're in downward dog, sending your sit bones a little higher and pressing your chest towards your thighs a little bit more. So your head is soft between your arms, gaze is between your feet. If you're in tabletop, just continue alternating those legs. Couple more breaths. And release. We're going to come back to our tabletop, to our child's pose or crocodile again. Shake out your wrists because we have one more pose that we're going to do here before coming to our feet. All right, returning to tabletop. So now we're going to do one more variation of a pose that you're going to do either from tabletop or downward dog. So if you're a tabletopper, we're going to just work drawing the knee in lengthen. Then we're going to bend that knee toward the elbow and lengthen. Knee toward the opposite elbow, a little twist underneath. So that can be done from tabletop. Same thing with downward dog, only you're going to rock forward a bit and pull your leg in and send the leg high. Rock forward and pull that knee toward the elbow. Rock forward toward the opposite elbow. So make your choice. Remember, life is all about choices. You decide. So here we go. From downward dog or tabletop, we're going to send the right leg high. On the exhale, knee to nose. On the inhale, send that leg high. On the exhale, knee to opposite elbow and send it high. Exhale, cross underneath. Inhale, high. Let's do that again. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale. Do one more on your own, one more round. Knee to nose. Knee to right elbow. And knee to left elbow. Once you're through, take your recovery pose. Shake out your wrists. All right. Now return to the pose that you're going to, tabletop or down dog. We're going to work the left side. So inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg goes high. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Bring it out to the outside. Inhale. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Do the last three with your own breath. Once you're through, stay in your tabletop or your down dog just for one more moment. And then when you're through, we're going to step up to the top of the mat with whatever foot is lifted. So from tabletop or down dog, then step up with your other foot. Bend your knees, let your belly rest on your thighs. Take a ragdoll pose. So we're just going to hang out here in ragdoll, feet hips width or wider apart. Let everything hang, just release. Whatever your body needs here. Sway side to side, swing the arms, nod the head. All right, now from here, let's all grab a hold of the elbows. Rest your forehead on the forearms. Knees are still bent. On your exhale breath, we're going to try to press those sit bones up. Keep your forehead, if you can, on those arms. A little tuck of that chin. And then inhale, bend the knees pretty significantly here. Exhale, press the sit bones up. Use your core here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Couple more on your own. Just going to check it out a little bit. Nice. Now the next time you exhale, hold it there. Press those sit bones high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Release your arms. And we're just going to very slowly roll up the spine with the knees bent. Arms, shoulders, chest, and head. Nice. Mountain pose time, right? So our recovery standing pose. Feet hips width, toes at 12 o'clock. Pressing, lifting the toes, get some space there, lower them back down. Press into the four corners of your feet. So you're feeling your arches lift. Let's get them to lift a little bit more by spiraling those ankle bones inward and back. Screw those feet in. Soften your knees. Neutral pelvis. Hips to ribs, ribs to hips. So whatever that core engagement is for you. Shoulders back. Shoulder blades down and in. Rotate your palms forward. Lengthen up through your crown. Close your eyes. Release some of that resistance, so you want to feel energized but relaxed. Tune back into those 3 anchors of mindfulness. All right, big inhale, arms come high overhead. Bend your elbows, firm your belly, lift your chest. So like goalpost arms, see if you can just press your chest up in between those arms. Here, moving forward, I don't know if you can see me. Notice that low back, don't dump into it. Remember to stay engaged. Inhale, arms come high. Exhale, forward bend, flow. Hinge at the hip crease. Let the fingers brush toward the floor. Inhale, rise. Lead with your arms, shoulders, and upper back. Close your eyes if you can here. See if you can make that connection of your movement and your breath. All right, now the next time you come down, I want you to hold that forward fold, Uttanasana. So plant your hands on something, the floor. Remember, you can use your block at any height. Position 1, position 2, position 3. What is it for you? Remember to keep the head above the heart, especially if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure. Head stays above the heart. If you're okay there, you can drop it low. Right? So we're going to hold on here, pressing those sit bones up. All right, next inhale, rise all the way back up. And then exhale, take your hands to your hips. We're going to step the left foot back just enough, I'm losing my balance here, so that the toes of your left foot are kind of lined up with the heel of your right foot. You still have that railroad track spacing, but you don't want a big step back. It's just the toes lined up with the heel, all right? So now we're going to do a forward bend flow like that. So let's take a big inhale. Exhale, fold. Long, flat back. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way up. Beautiful. Couple more on your own. Exhale, fold. Just trying to keep some length to those legs. Soft knee, not jamming it, but we want to try to keep the legs straight. All right, now this time we're going to come down. Hold it. Plant your hands again on something. Now, if you're okay here, the next step would be to take your left hand, wrap it around your left ankle, take your right hand. It's going to come right in between that space between the legs, not around the right leg, but in between. Grab a hold of that back leg and see if you can just pull yourself down. So different view. We're pulling ourselves down over that back leg. Stay breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1. Nice. Rise all the way back up. Long, flat back. Beautiful. And the hands come back to the hips. All right. So now we're going to step back with the right foot. Line those toes up with the heel. Railroad track spacing. So hips width with your feet. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hinge. Long, flat back. Fingers brush. Inhale, firm belly, rise all the way up. Nice. Couple more on your own. Close your eyes if you can. This is going to add a little bit of more balance too. So especially if your eyes are closed, you might notice that. All right, the next time we come down, we're going to hold it. So exhale, fold, plant your hands on something, choose that level, floor, block. On your exhale, lengthen down your spine, bringing your chest toward those thighs. Now you can decide if you want to try that little grab. So reach your right hand around the back of your right leg. Left hand's going to scoop through the space between the legs and clasp around that back leg. Every exhale, see if you can pull yourself a little deeper using your hands here. Nice. Beautiful. Last one. Now let's rise up all the way. Nice. Hands to hips. Let's move into some hip circles. So just give yourself a moment. Hips a little, or feet about a little wider than hips width apart. And then the other way. All right, back to hands to heart. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale, fold. All the way down. Now we're going to inhale, rise up. This time I want to see if you can find the balance, find a focal point, lift your right knee. See if you can lock in, press down through your left foot. Feel that work. Quad, hip flexor, core. Nice. Exhale, lower and fold. Inhale, rise. As you're coming up, try to find that focal point. You're moving. It's more of a challenge. Left knee lifts. Hold it. Soften your shoulders. Breathe deep. Don't hold your breath. And release. Nice. Let's step our feet to mats width apart. Just let the toes kind of hang off of the mat. Open your arms nice and wide. On your exhale, we're going to twist left and lower down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist right, lower down. Inhale, center. Couple more. Exhale, twist and lower. Inhale, exhale. So move a couple more times with your own breath. Twisting first at the navel, then lower down. Last one each side. And when you're through, feet back to hips width, couple of shoulder rolls. And then we'll take our hands to heart for sun A. So far so good, thumbs up. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms high. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Already been here, we know this by heart. Next, inhale, slide your hands halfway up the legs. So press into your hands above or below the knees. Straighten your arm and press your crown forward. Tailbone back. See if you can engage your upper back. Draw those shoulder blades down and in. Nice adjustments. Excellent. Exhale, lower down. Take a step back with your right foot. Then your left. Hold your plank here. So remember, plank can be knees lifted or knees down. Doesn't matter. Find yours. Push that floor away. Really feel that energy in your hands. Next exhale, we're going to rock forward, lower down to your stomach, either through push-up or through knees. Point your toes behind you. Inhale, lift your chest. Hover your hands. Drag those elbows back. So try to keep those elbows tucked in nice and tight to the sides of your body. Back of the neck is long. Exhale, lower down. Either send your sit bones back to child's pose or roll your toes under. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. We're going to take a step up with your right foot, then your left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Take some recovery breaths here. Big breath in. Exhale, out the mouth. Let it go. Big breath in. Exhale. Nice. Let's take the left side. One movement, one breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left foot back. Then the right. You're into your plank pose. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift the chest, hover. Exhale, lower down, child's pose, or inhale, roll your toes, prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Take a step up, left foot, then right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in. Let it go. Breath in. And out. Nice. Let's go right into sun B. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. This time on the inhale, chair pose, sit bones down and back, arms alongside the ears or at heart. Knees together or hips width apart. Tuck your tail, lift your gaze in your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold down, take a step back, right foot, lower down to that right knee, stack your left knee over the ankle. Tuck your tailbone, sink your hips, lift your arms. Zip up that core as you lift the chest. Exhale, lower the hands, take a step back to plank. Next exhale, rock forward, lower down. This time on your inhale, choose your cobra so you can go back to baby cobra or press into your hands. Draw the shoulders back. Open up that chest a little more. Firm belly. Exhale, lower down. Send your sit bones back to child's pose or inhale, toes roll under. Push the floor away, plank to down dog on the exhale. Inhale, right leg high. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, step that right foot up between the hands, lower down to that left knee, tuck your tail, sink your hips, firm belly, lift the arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. All the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. All right, last side. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. What's the world if we don't hold chair? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold. Take a step back with that left foot. Down to the left knee. Tuck the tail. Sink the hips, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or inhale, toes, prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. We're going to take that left leg high. And then inhale, step up. Lower down to the right knee. Tuck the tail, sink the hips, lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in. Let it go. Breath in and out. Now, take a recovery time here. Hands at heart or at your sides. And just give yourself that body scan. Breath, body, mind. All right, blink your eyes open. Keep a block handy. We're going to take a step back. Coming into that mountain pose, that posture. Take a step back with your left foot. Not too far, because we're going to work angle pose. So railroad tracks facing. Both legs are straight. Both hips are pointing to the top of the mat. On the exhale, hinge. Long spine. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge. This time we're going to hold it. You're going to decide where you want to stay. So before, at this halfway point, pull that right leg bone into the hip socket, spiral that left inner thigh inward. Then decide if you want to fold down deeper. Hold it here. You can plant your hands to the floor, your leg, maybe your blocker blocks. If you have two, you can have them on the sides there. Lengthen over that leg, soften your head. How's your breathing? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bend your knee, rise back up. Take a step up to the top of your mat. Give it a shake. All right, so now the other side. Feet hips width. We're going to step back right foot. So remember those back toes, they're pointing to 2 o'clock. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, rise. Last one, exhale, hinge. Stop halfway, pull that leg bone into the hip socket, square off those hips, then continue to fold. Plant your hands on something. Soften your head once you find your edge. So fit yourself in to this pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, rise up. Give your legs a shake, some hip circles. All right, so now from here, we're gonna go back into that angle pose, but then we're gonna work into a revolved triangle. So keeping that block handy, because I know I need it for this pose. It's nice to have a prop there. And remember, use a couch, a chair, whatever. So we're gonna take a step back with the left foot, set up, railroad track spacing. Next exhale, hinge at your hip crease, come halfway. Now this might be enough here. What we're looking for, I'm going to show you a couple of different steps. You can stay up here, take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh, right hand is to your low back, and you're going to rotate the spine to turn to the right, okay? So you're keeping those hips square. If you think you can go deeper, all right, you can bring the block to the inside of the foot, any height, press the crown forward, then rotate. You might like to take that arm high. Once you're in your pose, this twisted revolved pose, focus on your breath at the low belly. So remember, you're twisting. It might seem like, make sure you're not doing open here. So it's not like this, it's like this, right? It's that left hand to the block. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Lower the arm, bend your knee, rise back up, take a step up to the top of your mat. Give it a shake. All right. Set posture. Hands to hips, right foot back, right toes at 2 o'clock, left toes 12 o'clock. Exhale, hinge. So we're going to stop halfway. You can start here. Now pull that leg bone into the hip socket. Take the right hand to the outside of the thigh, left hand low back. On your next, press your crown forward and then rotate, twisting to the left. If this seems okay and you want to go deeper, now that right hand can rest on the block, rotate, maybe take that arm toward the ceiling. Hold it here. Yes, you got it. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Unwind, rise up, shake it all out. All right. So now we're going to go into our peak posture for this chakra, which is goddess pose or a horse variation, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to turn my mat so you guys can see me a little bit better. I don't know if you want to turn yours. It's up to you, but because you probably have to turn it back eventually anyway, back to the way it was. But we want a wide stance. Toes are pointed out, about 45 degrees. We're going to start in star pose. So we do this a lot, right? Getting into the inner thigh. Exhale to horse. Inhale, star. Exhale, horse. Inhale, star. Exhale, horse. One more. Inhale, star. Exhale, horse. We're going to hold it here. So bring your palms together to start. Check in on your knees. Be sure they're not turning in like this. Open them out. You might need to come up higher out of the squat or bring the feet closer together. Just make sure, it's very important that those knees are opening out toward your pinky toe, not your big toe. Press the palms together. Tuck your tail. Lift your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press out. Give your legs a little shake because we're going to go back in and work a little bit more strength. All right. Arms high. Exhale, palms together. Come down into that squat. All right. Now we're going to try to lift the right heel. Hold it there. Keep breathing. Lower that heel. Lift the left. And release. Press up. Give your legs a little shake. All right. Nice wide stance. Come back. Arms out wide. Bend the knees. All right. Find a focal point because now we're going to try to lift both heels. If that's a no-go for you, just alternate the heels again. But if you can, lift up both. Nice and high. Firm core. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. Legs should be shaking. 2, 1. Nice. Lower it down. Open up. Press your heels outward. Exhale. Hinge at the hip crease. Forward fold. Wide leg forward fold here. Grab a hold of your ankles maybe if that feels good. Now press into your hands, lift up halfway, either on the block or the floor, wherever it is for you. Point your toes to the corners of your mat. We're going to start by taking a little side lunge over toward the left foot. Walk over, then through center, over to the right, through center. So you might be up higher. Maybe your hands are on your hips. Shift like this. Over and over. Maybe you're sliding on the block. Sliding. Really just depends on the flexibility. When you come to the back end of your mat, hold it there. Hands on the block. Now for core strength, lengthen through your spine. See if you can airplane your arms. And release. Slide toward the front of your mat. Come into that low lunge. Strong belly. Lengthen out. Nice long spine. Arms fly. Nice. Lower the hands down. Pivot to the top of your mat. Lower to one knee, then the other. Take a child's pose of choice. So just resting in any variation of child's pose that serves you. Next inhale, we're going to rise up high on our knees. We're going to take our final pose here. Well, actually, there's going to be 2 more poses, and then we'll come on to our back. So we're going to take a camel pose. Feet hips width apart. We're going to take a block, if you have one. Just place it right between your thighs. And if not, you want those thighs to stay hip width. You can be on the tops of your feet or the balls of your feet. Bring your hands to your low back. So really spread your fingers, right? Then from here, gripping onto that block, hinge back from your knees. Then see if you can press your hips so they stack back over your knees, all right? So there's a little bit of a back bend here, right? Then if you can, open up your chest. Hold it here, really support your back. 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Nice. Take that block out. Come back to child's pose. We're going to take a child's pose with the arms alongside the legs. Tuck the chin. Next exhale, roll up the spine. Nice. Shift onto one hip. We're going to roll down the spine onto our backs. So knees are bent. Reach with your fingers. Just begin to tip that pelvis. Tip, tip, tip. As you roll down, come to the floor, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Now keep your right knee hugged in, take your left leg long, and then we're just going to guide that right knee over toward the floor on the left. Take a supine twist. Right arms out to the side, shoulder blade releasing toward the floor. Gaze opposite the knee. Return to center. Hug the left leg in, take the right leg long. And then just guide that left knee toward the floor on the right. Supine twist here. Let's use that left arm for stability. Gaze opposite the knee. Return to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to take a Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. The soles of the feet together, knees open wide. If you have those props, you can place them under the thigh. That's kind of nice. Rest your right hand on your belly, your left hand at your heart. Little tuck of the chin. Begin to feel the movement of your breath beneath your right hand and feel it as it travels up to the space beneath your left. You can either stay here if you'd rather open your legs long to your final Shavasana. You can go there, or you can stay here if you're comfortable in that Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can choose just taking a relaxation pose, or maybe you want to swing those legs up over a chair or your couch or up the wall. Any one of those poses are fine for your final relaxation. Just make your choice and decide where you want to be for your final relaxation. And then close your eyes and begin to let your body rest. As your body begins to settle into the floor, become aware of those contact points, the shadows and spaces beneath you. Feel secure that gravity is holding you to the earth, and now there's no more work to be done. Your muscles, your body, your mind can all be completely at rest. As your mind begins to still, it searches for a one-point focus to try to get rid of all that busyness that's often in our minds. In yoga, that focus is our breath. Take the time to become the observer of your own breath. Each nourishing inhale as your belly gently rises. Each cleansing exhale as your belly slowly falls. Notice how with time and without you really even doing anything, your breath on its own becomes a bit deeper, more even and smooth, until finally it becomes an unbroken stream that flows without sound, without pause. Exhale to inhale, inhale to exhale, again and again. It's that breath that we'll carry with us as we travel through our bodies in a systematic relaxation. Traveling downward, and as we rest at each area of our body, we're breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension. Beginning at the crown of the head. Traveling down to the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes. Resting for a moment at the breath of the nostrils. Feeling the touch of air at the base of the nostrils, warm and cool. Breathe in softness downward to the muscles of your lower face. From the top of your neck to the bottom. Feel your throat relax. Your shoulder muscles. And as they release, feel the bones become heavier and heavier as they sink into the mat. Relax from your shoulder to your wrist, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arms. Feel your hands become soft and limp as you allow any tension to flow out of your fingertips. Breathe in that feeling of relaxation to your chest. Breathe out any tension. Breathe downward through your rib cage into your abdomen. And from your upper back down the length of your spine. Feel the muscles of your middle and low back begin to let go as your upper body sinks deeper and deeper into relaxation. Breathe that relaxation downward across your hips, your glutes. Feel the weight of your thigh bones become heavier and heavier as your thigh muscles surrender their hold and the bones sink to the mat. Continue downward across your knees to your shins, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Allow your whole body to relax from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. And let any last bits of tension flow outward through your feet. You're now as relaxed as you want to be. Enjoy this feeling of total relaxation in your body for a few moments more. Notice your breathing, your soft muscles, and how it feels to have a calm, still mind. Peace, peace, peace. Take a moment now when you're ready to begin to reawaken your body, moving your fingers, your toes, your head and neck. Then gently rub the palms of your hands together and place the warm hands over your eyes. Open your eyes to the warmth and energy of your own hands and slowly draw your hands down and let in the light of day. Take a moment. You might want to massage your temples or forehead, or maybe you feel like giving yourself a stretch, or you want to hug your knees into your chest. Whatever you feel that you need, whatever seems to come natural. And then finally, when you feel ready, roll to your right side. Take a moment in that fetal pose on your right side to give your heart a moment of rest. Before moving on in your day, let the weight of your body melt away from your heart and allow your heart to feel light. When you feel ready, very slowly rise to your seat, seated cross-leg pose for a moment of gratitude. We're going to take what's called a Jala Mudra today, which is just bringing the thumb to the index finger and resting the hands on the knees, spreading the fingers so you're stretching out through your other fingers. Palms are turned upward. And this is associated with the water and balancing the water element of the body. Take a moment in this pose to just be grateful, thankful to your body for moving you through the poses, for allowing you stillness, and a moment to acknowledge every one of us in this virtual space today and the positive energy we've all brought. And together, we say namaste. Thank you.